You feel tired after a short walk, dizzy after bending down to pick something up, maybe even a little breathless when climbing the stairs, and deep down you chalk it up to age. It's just part of getting older, you tell yourself. But what if it's not? What if your heart, after decades of beating for you, carrying your every joy and every sorrow, is now quietly waving a red flag, and no one's paying attention? Let me tell you about Evelyn. She's 72, lively, independent, always believed in staying active. Every morning she did a quick workout, some stretches, a few sit-ups, light jumping jacks. But slowly she started feeling off. Her energy dipped, sleep got harder, her chest felt tight. Some evenings, she thought it was just age. Until one day she fainted after a simple set of crunches. The doctor told her something she'd never heard before. It wasn't your age, Evelyn, it was your heart. And it's been working too hard for too long. In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 common exercises Evelyn and so many other seniors do every day, thinking they're helping, but that are actually exhausting their hearts, silently and dangerously. And most importantly, I'll show you what to do instead. Because your body deserves movement, but your heart deserves the right kind. I'm not just a doctor, I'm a witness. For the past 27 years, I've stood beside thousands of seniors, men and women who walked into my clinic smiling, laughing, saying they felt pretty good for their age. But then the tests came back. Elevated blood pressure, irregular heart rhythms, early signs of heart strain they never saw coming. And more often than not, the culprit wasn't poor diet. It wasn't smoking. It wasn't laziness or a sedentary lifestyle. It was movement. But not just any movement. It was the wrong kind of exercise, at the wrong time, with the wrong intensity, and for the wrong body. You see, your heart after 60 is not the same heart that carried you through your youth. It's wiser, yes, but it's also more vulnerable. It needs a different kind of care now, one that works with it, not against it. The hardest part? Most seniors I see aren't doing anything wrong on purpose. They're following advice they got decades ago. Push through it, no pain, no gain. Keep up with the young ones. And that mindset, that innocent determination, is what's quietly doing harm. That's why I made this video. Because I don't want to see one more strong, brave, well-meaning senior collapse during a workout that was supposed to help them live longer. I want to protect your independence. I want to protect your dignity. But above all, I want to protect your heart. So let's take a closer look, together, at the 5 common exercises that may be doing more harm than good, and the gentle healing movements that your heart will thank you for. George was 71 when it happened, tall, lean, and the kind of man who believed that staying active was the secret to a long life. Every morning, like clockwork, he laced up his sneakers and followed a high-intensity interval training video on his iPad. Jump squats, mountain climbers, rapid push-ups. He wasn't trying to prove anything, he just wanted to keep up. With his grandkids, with the world, with the version of himself he remembered at 45. But one morning during the final round, his chest felt tight, his vision blurred. He stumbled to the kitchen and collapsed into a chair. At the hospital, the doctors told him, "Your heart was working harder than it should have, faster than it could safely go. You had a near cardiac event." George was lucky, but many others aren't. High-intensity interval training, or HIIT, involves short bursts of extreme effort, followed by brief periods of rest. It sounds efficient. It is efficient for younger bodies, but for a heart over 60, it's like flooring the gas pedal on an engine that's already worn. Sudden spikes in heart rate, breathless moments, unpredictable rhythms. These aren't challenges for an aging heart. They're threats. Most seniors don't feel the damage right away. It builds quietly, blood pressure rising, rhythm growing erratic, the heart tiring faster each week. You brush it off as just getting older, but it's not age, it's overload. The irony? Seniors often do HIIT to stay independent, but too often it leads to falls, fatigue, or worse, hospitalization. That's not the kind of strength anyone needs. So what's the alternative? Try slow, mindful movements, gentle walks in the morning light, Tai Chi under the trees, water aerobics, or dancing to soft music. These aren't lesser workouts, they're smarter. They build strength without shock, they respect your rhythm, and most importantly, your heart can keep up. George now walks every morning with his dog and a friend. His numbers are stable, his energy is back. And best of all, he's no longer fighting his body, he's working with it. Now, let me tell you about Linda. Linda is 68, a retired librarian, soft-spoken, gentle, with a quiet determination that never left her, even after retirement. After seeing a fitness ad on TV promoting simple daily ab exercises to stay strong, she bought a small home workout bench and a pair of 10-pound dumbbells. She figured a few crunches and some curls wouldn't hurt. Everyone was talking about the importance of core strength. So every afternoon she'd roll out her mat, lie back and begin. Crunch, crunch, curl, curl, breathe, push. It felt good at first, but over time, Linda began to feel different. She'd get lightheaded after her sets. Some days her head throbbed, and one afternoon, just after finishing her crunches, the room spun, and she collapsed backward, narrowly missing the corner of her coffee table. At the emergency room, her doctor looked at her test results and said, "Your heart's under stress, and the pressure your body's generating during those exercises, it's simply too much." The truth is, many people over 60 don't realize the danger of core-heavy exercises. Movements like sit-ups, crunches, and heavy lifting cause sharp increases in internal pressure. That pressure doesn't just stay in your belly, it radiates upward into your chest, toward your heart. For someone with aging arteries or hidden plaque or even slightly elevated blood pressure, these spikes can be dangerous. You might feel fine during the workout, but inside your heart is trying to balance sudden shifts in pressure, oxygen, and rhythm. Over time, that invisible effort adds up. Linda didn't know. She thought she was helping herself stay strong, but the truth is, strength in your 60s and beyond needs to look different. Here's how Linda changed. She traded crunches for gentle standing core rotations, swapped heavy dumbbells for light resistance bands, and most importantly, she learned to move with breath, not against it. Now she exercises with a senior fitness group twice a week. They focus on posture, balance, slow controlled strength, and Linda hasn't had a dizzy spell since. Let her story be your reminder. You don't need to stop building strength. You just need to stop shocking your system. Now let's talk about Bill. Bill loved his morning walks. Every day, rain or shine, he'd bundle up, grab his wool hat, and take a brisk lap around the neighborhood. He was 73, sharp-minded, independent, and proud of sticking to his routine no matter the season. On a January morning, with the sky still pale and the air biting at his cheeks, Bill headed out as usual. It was 26 degrees. He thought, no big deal, I've done colder. But halfway through his walk, something didn't feel right. His fingers turned numb, his breath shortened, and by the time he reached his driveway, his heart was racing. His daughter found him slumped on the porch steps, disoriented. They rushed him to the hospital. The diagnosis? Cold-induced blood pressure spike with mild cardiac stress. That morning, the air wasn't just cold, it was quietly overloading Bill's heart. Here's what most seniors don't know. After 60, your body's ability to regulate internal temperature declines. In cold weather, your blood vessels constrict to keep warmth inside, but that makes it harder for your heart to pump blood through narrower pathways. Your blood pressure rises, sometimes sharply. Now imagine your heart already managing aging valves, stiff arteries, or hidden plaque. Suddenly, a simple walk becomes a hidden danger. And it's not just cold. Hot weather brings its own risks: dehydration, blood vessel dilation, rapid heart rate. Both extremes force your heart to work harder just to stabilize you. Bill had no idea. He thought he was being disciplined. In reality, he was unknowingly putting his heart in survival mode, day after day. So what did he change? He started walking indoors, at a local community center with a climate-controlled gym. He dressed in layers and paid attention to weather alerts. Most importantly, he learned to listen to his body, not the calendar or his old habits. Today, Bill still walks every morning, but now he walks wisely. Let this be your reminder. Exercise doesn't begin with movement. It begins with the environment you choose to move in. Now let's meet Ray. Ray was 66 when he decided to join a community fitness class. He missed the feeling of moving, sweating, laughing with others. The instructor promised it would be low impact, perfect for seniors. The music started. It was upbeat, energizing. The moves began slow, side steps, claps, knee lifts. But soon it picked up speed, jumps, quick turns, fast footwork. Ray kept up, for a while. He was proud of himself, until the moment came when he turned too fast, lost his balance, and fell sideways. The room went silent. Though he didn't break anything, the impact shook him deeply. His heart pounded long after he stopped moving, and over the next few days he felt waves of dizziness, shortness of breath, and a growing sense of fear. At his doctor's office, the ECG showed irregular rhythms. The physician said calmly, "Your nervous system is struggling to catch up with how fast your body is moving. Your heart doesn't like sudden surprises anymore." Here's the reality. As we age, our reflexes slow down, our balance becomes less steady, and our arteries stiffen. That makes it harder for the heart to adapt to rapid shifts in movement. Jumping, twisting, quick direction changes, they may seem like small actions, but to an aging heart and nervous system, they create chaos. Blood pressure surges, oxygen delivery stumbles, and one misstep can lead to a fall, or worse, a cardiac episode. Ray didn't know any of this. He thought he was keeping up. But his body wasn't asking him to move faster, it was begging him to move smarter. So Ray adjusted. He now does water aerobics twice a week, where movement is supported, not jarring. He practices Tai Chi in the park, slow, deliberate, flowing. And most importantly, he's regained his confidence, not because he moves like he used to, but because now he moves in a way his heart understands. Remember this. True strength after 60 isn't how fast you can go, it's how well you protect what matters most. Now let's talk about Sarah. Sarah had always been a night owl. At 70, with her children grown and the house finally quiet after dinner, she liked to use that time for herself. Most nights, she'd roll out her yoga mat, do a few minutes of cardio, stretch a little, maybe walk in place while watching TV. She believed it was the perfect way to stay disciplined. Move every day, no excuses. But over time, something strange began to happen. She found herself wide awake at midnight. Her mind raced, her heart beat faster than usual, and even when she finally dozed off, the sleep was shallow. The fatigue crept in slowly. Some mornings she felt more tired than before going to bed. She blamed aging, hormones, maybe just stress, but her body was trying to tell her something much simpler. At her annual checkup, the doctor asked about her sleep. When she explained her evening workouts, the doctor paused and said, "Even light exercise at night can stimulate your nervous system and delay your heart's chance to rest. Here's why it matters. After 60, the body becomes more sensitive to circadian rhythms, your internal clock for sleep, hormones, and heart rate. Even a gentle workout too close to bedtime can raise adrenaline, elevate core temperature, and signal the brain to stay alert. And poor sleep isn't just a nuisance, it's a cardiovascular threat. Disrupted sleep increases inflammation, blood pressure, and the risk of irregular heart rhythms in older adults. Sleep is when the heart heals. It's not optional. It's essential. Sarah had no idea. She thought she was making the most of her day. In reality, she was stealing the hours her heart needed to recover. So she changed her rhythm. Now Sarah exercises before lunch. Light walks, gentle yoga, sometimes a dance video with her sister on Zoom. And by evening, she lets her body wind down. She reads, listens to soft music, sips chamomile tea. The result? Deeper sleep, more energy in the morning, and a heart that finally gets the rest it's earned. Remember, movement gives life, but timing gives healing. If you've made it this far, it tells me one thing: you care. Not just about living longer, but about living better. And that matters. Because after 60, everything changes. Your body speaks more softly. Your heart whispers instead of shouts. And if no one teaches you how to listen, you might miss the most important warnings of your life. Over the years, I've sat beside too many seniors, strong, wise, kind people, who ended up in hospital beds for reasons never explained to them. They didn't smoke, they ate well, they walked daily, but one small habit, one well-meaning exercise, took them one step too far, and they always said the same thing: "I didn't think it was a big deal." But after 60, almost everything becomes a big deal. Not because you're fragile, but because your body has worked tirelessly for decades. It deserves respect, not fear, not guilt, just awareness. You don't need to be who you were at 40. You don't have to prove anything. There's no medal for overexertion, no trophy for pushing past your limits. What you need is this: consistency, kindness, clarity, a quiet walk with your spouse, 10 minutes of gentle stretching, a nap when your body says, "Please, not now." That's not weakness, that's wisdom. Because true strength, especially now, isn't in how much you lift or how fast you move. It's in how deeply you listen to your body, to your breath, to your heartbeat. Let go of the myth that more is better. Start choosing wiser, not harder. Move with presence, rest with purpose, and trust that small, mindful steps will carry you further than any sprint ever could. Your heart has given you everything. Now it's time to give something back. If something in this video spoke to you, if you saw yourself in George or Linda or Sarah, then don't let this be the end of your journey. Let it be the beginning. Take a moment and leave a comment below with just one word: listening. Because sometimes the first act of healing is simply hearing your body again. And if you're ready to take the next gentle, wise step toward better heart health. In the next video, I'll show you a simple 10-minute morning routine that improves circulation, lowers blood pressure, and helps you sleep deeper without ever stepping outside. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, not because I asked, but because your heart deserves a companion that understands it. You are not too old. It's not too late. And we're just getting started.